That was actually the second time a Tennessee Crossroads crew boarded the Delta Queen. The first time was more than 20 years ago on a river journey northwest from Nashville. On board was the late Jerry Thompson, one of our Crossroads team members and a fabulous storyteller. Here's how the experience made Jerry conjure up thoughts of Mark Twain.
There's nothing like a churning paddle wheel to turn back the pages of time. When a person stands on the deck of the Delta Queen and watches the huge paddle wheel churn the river water into a foamy froth, it's easy to let your cares and your worries get caught up in the misty spray. And your body just seems rejuvenated as you watch the wake roll out behind the boat until it finally disappears into a faint ripple on a distant riverbank. It was on a riverboat like this almost 100 years ago when Mark Twain first began to capture the sights and the sounds and the pleasures of river travel. And it was around the turn of the century when as many as 11,000 stern-wheeler paddle boats plied the nation's rivers. Now there are only 5 left, only 5 that take passengers on overnight excursions. And I'm fortunate enough to be on the oldest of the 5, the Delta Queen. Now just to look around the Delta Queen gives you an idea of what life was like back then. But a real close look makes you realize what it was really like. You know, Mark Twain probably put it best when he said a steamboat is as beautiful as a wedding cake, but without the complications. This is the Delta Queen's bell. It was cast in Louisville, Kentucky in 1870. It's very special. They sweetened the tone by casting in 500 pure silver dollars. But something else makes it special too. We've been told that this bell once was on the boat captained by pilot Horace Bixby. And Horace Bixby taught Mark Twain to be a riverboat pilot. And we've been told that Mark Twain himself rang this bell. That makes it very special. A person can look at the Delta Queen and get an idea of what it was like back then. A closer look, however, makes us realize what it was really like. The crystal chandeliers that glisten brightly, the ornate oak and mahogany, the stained glass that borders the elegant lounges, the forest green carpet and comfortable Victorian-style furniture, and the hand-polished brass. It's on the beds, the rails, the stairways, and even the huge searchlights that cut beams of vision through the darkest night. And a grand staircase that belongs in a mansion 100 years ago. You know, in this day and time when life seems to be going by in a blur and when the world seems like it's in a real big hurry, and we come to the realization that we've let so much of our past slip away and disappear from our future, it's comforting to rediscover a lifestyle from another era. A time when the world went by at a much slower pace, a time of enchantment and adventure, and a time so aptly captured by Mark Twain when he wrote the stories about the rivers and the grand boats that floated on them. And if I let my imagination run a little while, I still feel Mark Twain's presence here today on this boat. And if I listen real close to the hypnotic rhythm of the giant paddle wheel as it slaps the water, I get the feeling that a part of Mark Twain is still alive, living right here on the Delta Queen.